In today's show, Bitcoin price edges higher as Fed inflation meeting sends the dollar to a 2-month low. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. Also, breaking news. World Bank says it cannot assist El Salvador with its Bitcoin implementation, but it will happily cripple the country with the debt burden. That's right, to say it another way, the World Bank cannot help El Salvador make the World Bank obsolete. And I love Max's response to all of this. Hey, World Bank, you and the IMF can go F yourselves. You're financial arsonists and terrorists. Caused the problem, now Bitcoin is going to fix it. That's right. Also in today's show, millionaire whales gobble up 90,000 Bitcoin over the past 25 days. As Sentiment Analytics points out, Bitcoin addresses holding between 100 and 10,000 BTC have accumulated 90,000 more BTC in the last 25 days. Also in today's show, Pantera CEO Dan Morehead says crypto market panic is subsiding and that now is the time to buy. That's right. As he shares in this tweet, for new investors, it's best to buy when the market is well below trend. Now is one of those times. Bitcoin has only been this cheap relative to its trend 20% of the past 11 years. Also in today's show, billionaire legendary investor Paul Tudor Jones calls Bitcoin 100% certain and unveils his portfolio allocation to BTC. That's right, quoting him right here. Listen, I like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is math, and math has been around for thousands of years. 2 plus 2 is going to equal 4, and it will for the next 2,000 years. So I like the idea of investing in something that's reliable, consistent, honest, and 100% certain. So Bitcoin has appealed to me because it's a way for me to invest in certainty. He also shares on this Squawk Box CNBC interview that the only thing I know for certain is I want to have 5% in gold, 5% in Bitcoin, 5% in cash, and 5% in commodities. Also in today's show, I'll be sharing with you the 6 richest people in the entire crypto industry. Coin Bureau, who currently has 1.1 million subscribers on YouTube, launched an investigation and reached credible conclusions. And I think you'll be pretty shocked to see who the richest are. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin barely back in the green as Ethereum barely back in the red. But where's the Bitcoin price likely to go next? Find out all this, plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day, so be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium Crypto News Alerts every single day, just like this. And before I kick off today's show, today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, BlockFi, the leading provider of financial products and services for crypto investors. Here's where you can put your crypto to work and earn a 5% annual percentage yield on Bitcoin, so you can literally have your Satoshis work for you. You can also earn 10% APY on select stablecoins, and the other flagship product is the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards Visa credit card, where for a limited time, by using my referral link in the description right down below, you'll earn 3.5% back in Bitcoin on all purchases within your first 90 days. They also recently ditched their annual fee, truly making this a no-brainer to take advantage of it, as well as receive up to a $250 crypto bonus with a deposit of $100 or more. Go ahead and use my link in the description right down below. Let's start stacking those sats and claim your BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards Visa credit card today. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. We have a lot to cover as usual, so let's dive right in. The Bitcoin price stayed below $40,000 this morning on June 17th as a surging US dollar added to downward Bitcoin price pressure. As you can see right here on your screen, it shows you the Bitcoin 1-hour candle chart. Bitcoin bounces at $38,000 support. Both Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin trading at $39,300, which is where we're currently at. Now, the largest crypto fell during a meeting of the Federal Reserve the day before, in which Chairman Jerome Powell acknowledged inflation could run higher than planned in the short term. Go figure. As Cointelegraph reported, May's consumer price index, known as the CPI, report showed inflation hitting a 13-year high last month. Like, whoa. While traditionally a boon for Bitcoin, however, Powell's confidence in inflation returning to normal long-term ultimately served to boost the dollar more than Bitcoin. Interesting, right? Yes, they are anchored and they're at a good place right now. It's gratifying to see them having moved off of their pandemic lows. Powell said in a subsequent media comment inflation about the indicators. He also shares it's fundamental in our new framework to assure that longer-term inflation expectations are anchored at a place that is consistent with our goal. That goal is currently around 2%, with the Fed acknowledging that there would be periods where rates would overshoot that threshold. Now, the dollar gained on the back of the meeting, with the US dollar currency index advancing to 2-month highs. This is the classic provider of friction for Bitcoin, and already tepid sentiment over the outlook for the bull run of 2021 continuing saw a further test. And right here, you're looking at the US dollar currency index. Now let's talk about the CME futures gap. gaps. Popular crypto trader noted the positive implications of Bitcoin bouncing off that $38,000 support as its intraday lows. Let's not forget the possible extension to fill the CME gap, he added, as part of comments on the low, with the futures gap, another favorite short-term price influencer, at 37,000. And at the same time, fellow trader Peter Brandt highlighted a number of gaps which remain unfilled on Bitcoin, while adding that he doesn't believe all gaps must be filled. And right here on this chart, you're looking at the CME Bitcoin futures one-day chart, and you can see where those gaps are at. Do you feel that Bitcoin is likely to close those CME futures gaps? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now let's check out this breaking news that the World Bank says it cannot assist El Salvador with Bitcoin implementation, but it will happily cripple the country with a debt burden. Go figure, no surprise there. And I love how Samson Mao puts it. Breaking, World Bank cannot help El Salvador make the World Bank obsolete. That's right, because Bitcoin is a central bank killer, as Max Kaiser commonly shares. And I love Max's response. Hey, World Bank, you and the IMF can go F yourselves. Your financial arsonists and terrorists caused the problem. Now Bitcoin is going to fix it. So expect more energy FUD coming from the IMF and World Bank and Elon FUD puppet Musk, because that's what they do at the end of the day. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Bitcoin whales are stacking up, with millionaire addresses accumulating around 90,000 Bitcoin, currently worth $367 billion over the past 25 days. The accumulation was identified by crypto market data aggregator Santiment, which identified that wallets holding between 100 and 10,000 BTC, described by Santiment as millionaire tier addresses, are now the largest segment of Bitcoin hodlers and currently account for 48.7% of Bitcoin supply. The recent buy-in spree places millionaire addresses at a 7-week high for the number of Bitcoin held, with the addresses representing more than 9.11 million BTC, down just a couple of percent from their mid-April high, as they share right here on crypto Twitter, which I broke down for you in the intro of the show. Now, miners also appear to be accumulating BTC, with on-chain analytics provider Glassnode identifying that weekly Bitcoin outflows from miner addresses have slumped to a 5-month low of roughly 1.7 million on June 16th. Now, looking at the opposite end of the scale from whales, Glassnode noted that the share of supply represented by addresses holding less than 1 Bitcoin has doubled since December 2017 to comprise roughly 5% of Bitcoin's market cap. Checking out Glassnode's tweet right here, the response of the little guy to the evolution of Bitcoin as an asset can be seen in the supply distribution. Entities with less than 1 Bitcoin, which are the SAT stackers, almost own 5% of the supply and have accumulated in 4 accelerated phases. As you can see right here, Phase 1, 2018 was the bear market accumulation. Phase 2, 2019, the post-capitulation acceleration. Phase 3, 2020-2021, macroeconomic asset. And Phase 4, 2021 and beyond, geopolitical asset. And as you can see, entities with less than 1 Bitcoin now hold 4.95% of the circulating supply. And before I break down our next story of the day, Pantera CEO Dan Morehead says the crypto market panic is subsiding and now is the time to buy, as well as billionaire legendary investor Paul Tudor Jones calls Bitcoin 100% certain on Unveils portfolio allocation, as well as I share with you the 6 richest people in the entire crypto industry. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. We can see Bitcoin barely in the green, up 0.1% for the day, trading at about 39,200. I'd love to see BTC retest that critical 40K resistance so we can break it and move on up. We have Ethereum down 1.5%, trading just above $2,400. Binance Coin up 1.3%, trading at $358. And Chainlink also up 1.5%, trading at $24.15. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day. The chief executive of Pantera Capital, Dan Morehead, is confident that the big crypto sell-off is slowing because he thinks we've seen the most of the panic. And I agree 100%. Let me know if you agree in the comments below. In the monthly newsletter published on June 14th, the venture capitalist stated that the best time to buy is when the markets are well below trend. A Bitcoin trend deviation chart backed up this claim, as it showed that the asset has only been this cheap relative to its trend for a fifth of its life cycle. As he shares right here, for new investors, it's best to buy when the market is well below trend. Now is one of those times. Bitcoin has only been this cheap relative to its trend 20.3% of the past 11 years. He also asserted that the year-on-year returns do not indicate that Bitcoin is overvalued either. Quoting him here, the year-on-year return never went literally off the chart like in past peaks. It's currently trading at 281% year-on-year, which seems entirely plausible given the money printing that has occurred in that period. He makes a great point. Morehead went on to explain that a convergence of 3 news events that had made the markets fall so sharply, another clampdown from China, was one of the big factors. But as Morehead pointed out, this has happened several times before. Okay, let's take in the latest China banning Bitcoin thing out of the wider lens. It feels like we've also seen that movie before. He ain't telling no lies. It's like the FUD just continues to repeat on a continuous loop. And he went on to list 8 separate incidents over the many years when China banned Bitcoin or cracked down on the industry, followed by a chart depicting huge gains Bitcoin has made afterwards. Beijing has also been cracking down on Bitcoin mining operations over concerns of energy consumption as it strives for carbon neutrality. And we all know that's nothing more than FUD at the end of the day. Now, the second reason cited by the Patera Capital boss was U.S. tax day, which traditionally has affected markets as investors chose to liquidate some of their holdings to raise money for their tax bill. Quoting him here, previous tax day cycles have hit local lows 7 days before tax day. That makes tremendous sense. That's about how long it takes to get your money out of an exchange and to your bank. Now, the third factor he named was Elon FUD puppet Musk, his 180 on Bitcoin, but he did not elaborate on the impact that the Tesla CEO tweets had on the market at the time. FUD puppet Musk caused a tweet war on May 17th when he hinted that Tesla may sell some of his Bitcoin holdings due to environmental concerns over energy consumption, which we all know is FUD. Crypto asset markets plunged 43% from their $2.5 trillion all-time high in mid-May, shedding over $1 trillion in total market cap in the weeks that followed. Now, markets have been consolidating since they hit their lowest point in this pullback on May 24th and are currently around $1.6 trillion. Now, before I break down our next story of the day, billionaire legendary investor Paul Tudor Jones calls Bitcoin 100% certain and unveils his portfolio allocation to BTC, as well as I share with you the 6 richest people in the entire crypto industry. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting above 1.6 trillion with 89 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, and current Bitcoin dominance at 45.3%, with the ETH dominance at 17.4%. Now, checking out the top gainers within the top 100, we have AMP leading the pack, up 22%, trading at 11 cents. Sinfin Network up 14%, trading at 6 cents. Theta Fuel up about 9%, trading at 54 cents. And Waves up 8.6%, trading at $18.19. Now, checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 26 in fear. Yesterday was a 33, last week a 21, and last month a 21 in extreme fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Billionaire investor and hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones unveils that he's raising his allocation to Bitcoin. In a new CNBC Squawk Box interview, he shares his bullish thesis on Bitcoin, seeing it as a bet on certainty amid uncertain economic conditions. Quoting him right here, listen, I like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is math, and math has been around for thousands of years. 2 plus 2 is going to equal 4, and it will for the next 2,000 years. So I like the idea of investing in something that's reliable, consistent, honest, and 100% certain. So Bitcoin has appealed to me because it's a way for me to invest in certainty. Very powerful words coming from the legendary investor. And in terms of his portfolio allocation, Jones has deeper conviction in Bitcoin, saying that he wants 5% allocation in Bitcoin now, up from his 1 to 2% allocation last year. Quoting him from Squawk Box again right here, the only thing that I know for certain is that I want to have 5% in gold, 5% in Bitcoin, 5% in cash, and 5% in commodities. And as for the other 80% of the billionaire's portfolio, he is holding back on other investments until the Fed meets this week to discuss the latest economic figures. According to Jones, accelerating inflation in the US could play a big role in future investment portfolios. Quoting him again here, if the Fed treats these numbers, which were material events, they were very material. If they treat them with nonchalance, I think it's just a green light to bet heavily on every inflation trade. If they say we're on path, things are good, then I would just go all in on inflation trades. I'd probably buy commodities, buy crypto, and buy gold. So there you have it. And before I break down our final story of the day and I share with you the 6 richest people in the entire crypto industry, but first I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 811 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including my daily letter, which goes out to over 30,000 subscribers every single day. To subscribe, visit letter.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also have a blog I update daily, which could be found at cryptonewsjust.com. Also, be sure to smash that subscribe button right below this video and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. You can also find me on all the major podcasts and platforms. In fact, we just crossed 2 million podcast downloads. So I want to say I greatly appreciate your support. You can find me on Spotify, Apple's iTunes, as well as Google Play. You can also find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is CryptoNewsYes. And for those of you on Facebook, I do have a private crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy. To join it, click this link, request to join. I'll be sure to plug you in. Also have a private crypto Telegram chat, which is uncensored. To join it, click this link. You'll automatically be added. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you personally on the inside. And for those of you on TikTok, be sure to follow me there. All right, now let's break down the 6 richest people in the entire crypto industry. And to make this fair, Coinbase focused on people who hold the most of their assets in cryptos. That makes people like Coinbase's Brian Armstrong, as well as MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor, ineligible because most of their fortunes are tied to their companies. It also discards all the billionaires that have a small percentage of their fortunes in crypto. So now that the rules are clear, let's dive right in. Number 6, Tim Draper and Max Keiser, tied at number 5, 2 very different Bitcoin believers. We have Tim Draper, the venture capitalist investor who made a purchase of a lifetime when he acquired all the Bitcoin confiscated from the Silk Road dark web marketplace. The U.S. Marshal Service auctioned off 30,000 BTC, which landed in Tim's wallet for $19 million. Not too shabby of an ROI, considering those Bitcoin are now worth closely to $1 billion. Draper is not a part of the crypto industry, but practicing diversification. He also holds Bitcoin Cash, XRP, as well as Tezos. Now for my main man, Max Keiser. This broadcaster and filmmaker is the reason many people around the world even know about Bitcoin. As an early believer in a 2017 episode of the Keiser Report, Max announced he had become a Bitcoin millionaire. As per Coinbase calculations, that means he held 25,000 Bitcoin at that time. And assuming he continued to buy and bought a modest 5,000 more, his holdings are now worth $1 billion. So show some love to Max Keiser and Stacey Herbert in the comments right down below. Next up on the list is Vitalik Buterin, Ethereum's co-founder, who started in a Twitter public fight previously covered by News BTC. Vitalik's Ethereum wallet address has been known since late 2018 when he shared it on Twitter in response to criticism over Ethereum's pre-mine. This key figure in the crypto industry now holds 334,000 Ethereum, which at today's prices is approximately $1.5 billion. Next up are the Winklevoss bros, who invested part of their Facebook fortune into Bitcoin. The story goes as follows. While on holiday in Ibiza in 2013, Tyler and Cameron learned about Bitcoin and subsequently decided to buy 1% of all the Bitcoin in circulation. With that, they founded the Gemini Exchange, a key component of the crypto industry. Coinbase estimates that each twin holds between $2 to $3 billion in crypto, mostly in Bitcoin. Next up is Chris Larsen. One of the biggest criticisms that the crypto industry wields against Ripple is that the incredible amounts of XRP that its founders and the organization hold. Well, the third biggest crypto billionaire is Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen, who holds anywhere between 5.2 and 7.8 billion XRP. And it's worth noting that all XRP allocated to Ripple's founders is subject to a vesting schedule that will last until 2026, assuming the SEC doesn't succeed in its case against Ripple, in which case Chris's XRP will be unsellable by law. But it looks the other way so far, though, as the market seems to be supporting this turn of events. Next up on the list, number 2 is Sam Bankman-Fried. Did you know that FTX's Sam Bankman-Fried was in talk with Binance's Changpeng Zhao to fund an exchange together before any of the two made it big? True story. Bankman-Fried is the founder of Alameda Research and the FTX cryptocurrency exchange. Now, according to Coinbase, they say that Sam's exact crypto holdings are not known, but they estimate that the total is anywhere between $5 and $10 billion. Like, whoa. Now for the number 1 cryptocurrency holder in the world, the richest of the richest, Changpeng Zhao, the CEO of Binance. Even though Changpeng Zhao's net worth is listed at around $2 billion, Coinbase investigated and made some controversial assumptions. First of all, after attending a crypto conference, Changpeng Zhao subsequently decided to sell his apartment in Shanghai and go all in on Bitcoin. If my calculations are correct, this banked him anywhere between 50 to 100,000 BTC. The Bureau uncovered some articles in which Changpeng Zhao said that he likes to hold his fortune in crypto assets, so they assume that he is still holding on to that. Years later, when Binance launched their own coin, 40% of BNB's initial minting of 100 million was allocated to the founding team. Again, the Bureau assumes that he still has them. Changpeng Zhao's BNB holdings alone could easily be over $10 billion at today's prices. So there you have it. Is there anyone on this list that they should have included? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now for a quick recap, what I cover with you right here in today's show: Bitcoin price edges higher as Fed inflation meeting sends the dollar to a 2-month low. Also breaking news, I shared that the World Bank says it cannot assist El Salvador with its Bitcoin implementation, but it will happily cripple the country with with a debt burden. Also in today's show, I shared that millionaire whales gobble up 90,000 BTC over the past 25 days, as well as Pantera Capital CEO Dan Morehead says crypto market panic is subsiding and now is the time to buy. That's right, BTFD. Also in today's show, I shared that billionaire legendary investor Paul Tudor Jones calls Bitcoin 100% certain and unveils his portfolio allocation to BTC. I also shared with you the 6 richest people in the entire crypto industry. So where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this.